Starting off with TikTok today, things have moved since the US and Chinese presidents spoke on Friday. Peter O'Brien, who's going to be sitting then around the boardroom table?
Good question, Stuart. Nobody saw that name coming, did they? Media mogul Rupert Murdoch and his heir Lachlan have been name-dropped by the US President Donald Trump as among the people involved in taking control of the app in the United States. CNN is reporting that it's their company, Fox Corp. Lachlan's the one on the left there, not to be confused with his brother with the glasses. Fox Corp will be investing, not the Murdochs individually. Trump also mentioned Oracle boss Larry Ellison and Michael Dell of Dell Technologies, of course. Now, on Saturday, the White House suggested that data and privacy would be led by the cloud computing giant Oracle. And as a reminder, the US has been negotiating to take over TikTok's US operations because of national security concerns. Let's listen to Trump.
Larry Ellison's one of them. He's involved. He's a great guy. Michael Dell is involved. I hate to tell you this, but a man named Lachlan is involved. You know who Lachlan is? That's a very unusual name, Lachlan Murdoch.
Mr. Murdoch.
I believe, and you call him, and Rupert is probably going to be in the group. I think they're going to be in the group. A couple of others, really great people, very prominent people, and they're also American patriots. You know, they love this country, so I think they're going to do a really good job.
Now, despite what you may think, the valuation of TikTok's parent company ByteDance is actually rising amid lifts to the whole Chinese tech sector. The latest in the Asian markets for you then, mixed trading on Monday. The Shanghai is trading slightly up. Japan's Nikkei up 1%. Hong Kong down 0.8. Europe's opening shop now, and it's mixed messages there too as markets assess the impact of Donald Trump's crackdown on visas. We'll have more on that for you later on, Stuart.
Now, we're going to tell you about the UN Security Council now. They're holding an emergency meeting today over last week's incursion into Estonian airspace, you'll remember, by 3 Russian warplanes. Peter's been looking into how the Russian threat has accelerated Estonia's defence sector.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. It also happens to be Estonia Defence Week this week, so that means a lot of hobnobbing between defence tech startups and investors, public and private alike. That's in the capital, Tallinn. The Russian incursion last week obviously only means more urgency and more hands shaken. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to meet some of the Estonian startups that have seen demand rocket, particularly with the country set to spend 5.4% of GDP on defence next year, more than the NATO requirement. Murdoch is one such company set to triple their revenue this year and double it the next. They've developed a rather smart drone spotting system. Chief Operating Officer Leit Rauno Lember told me how it works.
We have a really high resolution camera sensors with what we are able to understand any object that is flying within a certain radius. So we are talking about mini drones or like 30 centimeter drone optical detection around 2.5 or 3 kilometers. And basically whatever is flying within that radius, we're able to detect, classify, and give out the XYZ coordinate of the detected threat.
And finally, Peter's got a brand new tape for us on the Flying Dutchman.
More like the Dutchman sucked through a tube at high speed, Stuart. I'm, of course, talking about the long-vaunted Hyperloop transport system, popularised, I like to think anyway, by Futurama. Could it be getting another lease on life? The concept of maglev high-speed mass transit through vacuum tubes has been around for over a decade, and far longer than that in science fiction, but never really gotten off the ground. A Dutch company, though, has announced the completion of a successful test. Model train enthusiast and occasional France 24 journalist Luke Schrago takes a look.
This might look like a jump to hyperspeed in a Star Wars movie, but it is in fact a test run of a Hyperloop system, one that, if successfully commercialised, would revolutionise rail travel.
I think from Amsterdam to Paris it will be possible to travel within 3/4 of an hour. And that's amazing, and it will change the society and the way of living and the way of working.
Capsules run on magnetic levitation through tubes emptied of air, reducing drag and theoretically allowing for incredible speed. It's not the first time it's been tried. Billionaire Elon Musk floated the idea in 2013, and despite testing in the US, The company behind it never found backers and went bankrupt in 2023. But the tech wasn't dead, and Dutch firm Hyperloop hasn't just carried out hundreds of tests, they've improved, reaching speeds of 85 kilometres an hour on a 420-metre test track, something they say means they could reach 700 kilometres an hour if given a track long enough. What's more, they successfully managed to switch tracks, vital if the system is to function on a network.
We're also shifting our attention a little bit from the more fundamental questions to the more commercial questions, really making sure that those technologies are not just fit for technical feasibility, but they also become optimized for commercial feasibility and certified products that we can really travel in, you and I as real passengers.
Hyperloop hopes to run a test with passengers by 2030, and it'll have competition. China has its own Hyperloop project and aims to link the cities of Shanghai and Guangzhou by 2035.